The American Way. An Apocalyptic Fairy Tale. By Chucky H. Sanson. A Playtrait recording of the forthcoming novel. Level 7. And they will know us by the trail of bread. Who are you? Kitten stepped back in shock from the magnificent piece of horsepower. Aloof, the man in the cowboy hat picked his teeth with his fingernail and snorted into the infernal distance. You're telling me I've been out of lockup not 5 minutes and I already met the man with no name and his ride with no shame? Dude shrugged. Well, how's about I call you Cowboy, big man, seeing as you're already wearing the spirit of denim past. She snapped her fingers with a metallic ping. But check it out. You ain't rocking no fringe. I don't see one peppermint pipping. And I detect no John Wayne game in your fame. Who you trying to fool? Hop along, Cassidy? He clicked his fingers in imitation of her. Poorly. And don't even think of getting those filthy little sausages anywhere near me, Kitten warned the new stranger. I've had too many Freedom Savage fingers in my soul already. Don't ask. Don't worry. He hooked his thumbs on his back pockets. Everybody's got their own row to hoe. Oh yeah? She snapped back. Well, maybe life's only fair if you're tall, white, and emotionally constipated. He tried not to look shocked. She went on. If you're a robot, non-life pretty much sucks donkey dorks, and then you get cubed in a car crusher. Almost tearing up again, Kitten gazed down at the wreckage of poor Roomba. She gathered the parts, kissed its lifeless little chassis, and stacked a solemn grave of roadstones. Maybe I should say something, Cowboy breathed, suddenly solemn. Too late, she whispered. The glass radio in my head already said it. He gave the little rock pile a look, not sadness, just recognition. I told myself I would never say this again, but I'm sorry. He took off his hat, placed it over his heart, and lowered his head. Kitten squinted up at him. The sun burned behind Cowboy like a pagan halo. To her, he looked like a caution sign for masculinity, worn down to the stick figure. The man was drenched in blue jeans and pearl snaps. His boots were blue, too, spangled with stripes and stars in pink-eye pink and piss yellow, like a leper 4th of July threw up on a monster truck rodeo. He wore a flag tied at the neck, whipping and snapping in the wind. His face, tarnished and worn, told the story of the old adage. It ain't the years, it's the mileage. Lifting the crumpled black Stetson, he pulled it down low over his pinpoint blue eyes. Electronic tattoos flickered across his face and forearms, playing endless loops of dusty westerns from the before times. Fistfights, saloon doors, the myth of the gun. Cooper, Eastwood, Stewart, all of it stitched into his leathery skin. Cowboy leaned against the hood of the black car, a living devil baked raw by life. Kitten blinked once. He was the weirdest Freedom Savage she'd ever seen, and she'd seen some real specimens. He didn't seem tangible, like an ad for ancient tobacco come to life. She paused as she drew closer, listening to the music behind her eyes. Shivers of ecstasy ripple over her tiny form. He notices. You ain't gonna explode, are you? He frowned, squinted and resettled his hat twice. Shh! I'm listening, Kitten whispered, closing her eyes and going blank. Listening to what? A fart in the wind, he said, snorting. No, a genetic human would not be able to hear such a thing. I'm listening to the glass radio up here, she tapped her temple. Sure you are. Cowboy tilted his head like he was waiting for the punchline. And then what happens? And then, I do whatever it says. He squinted hard. Oh, yeah? So what kind of crap does this glass radio say? Kitten took a deep breath and blinked twice. It sings to me. Static. Beautiful. But it's a menace to my own thoughts. So I have to be careful, because if the glass breaks, all my own ideas will be cut to pieces. So what's this radio saying, like right now? Kitten looked up for a moment, still and eerie. Like Joan of Arc, live-streaming screaming angels through a glitching Bluetooth confessional. Kitten stood tall. Here's a little sample of the current broadcast. Hellfire, hellfire. You are all going to hellfire from Hubruesic space lasers. Go forth. Go and do the Horde's work. Cowboy winced into the distance. Something about her reminded him of ghosts, of invisible memories and the smoke of the world already gone, the losses that will never return. There was something haunting and terrifying in her voice, like a 911 call from the old world still humming in the wires. Hubruesic space lasers, you don't say? I do say, Kitten smiled. Or actually, the radio says. Cowboy laughed. Kinda tickles the old bullshit bone if I do say so myself. Behind them, the American Way shimmered like a hallucination from a head wound, blood slick and buzzing. But the worst was yet to come. Okay, everyone, thanks for kicking ass through the American Way. Remember, this was just a taste. If you made it this far, you probably already know, this story isn't safe. It's not sanitized for platforms. It's too raw for Substack, too volatile for Royal Road, too true for Medium. But it's real. And it's only just begun.